Hello, sorry, just need to shut the door just in case. Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. Soon be Christmas. Standing Joe with my class members, that's it. People who are coming to watercolour class of 14th of April. Please let me know if you're not coming, because I've got you down as coming, most of you, and there's a few I've not contacted yet because I haven't seen them for 12 months actually, so I'll contact them. But we have enough to start, so and I've just seen Dorothy again, and everything's in place for safe COVID meetups. Okay, things are looking good so far, fingers crossed. Alright, today's image, female figure, yeah, it's quite, you know, could be anything, anybody, I mean, so nothing, no one in particular. We are using a bit of wax. I'm going to put some colour on. If you've already put colour on, it doesn't matter, don't worry or stress about it. We need plenty of water for this. I finished my thingy one. I think I'm quite happy with it for what we did in an hour or so, you know, but it's just practice anyway for doing figurative work, yeah. So we are running okay, I think. Yes, thank you. Hello, Christine. I keep seeing Hazel and it throws me a bit. Anyway, so we are ready for Easter. Bought me eggs. Miles, my grandson's coming. We'll be having an Easter egg hunt over the weekend, I presume. Let's just hope this weather stays as it is. That's why I've started a bit early, because it's a beautiful day and we want to get outside in the sun, get me suntan going again, more suntan. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit complicated, this one. We're going to have a kind of combination of glazing underneath and then charcoal over the top, but we're using wax as well before we use the charcoal, don't forget. We do need a Stanley knife blade. I actually haven't got it out, sorry. Just to scratch off at the end the wax from the painting, so the colour, the beautiful colour underneath will come through. Just taking a Stanley knife blade out. Be very careful with these, okay? Just using it to like scratch, and it's be very careful. And so yeah, you can buy them with plastic sleeves as well. Sorry, I know you can't see them. So there you are. I'll keep that out of the way in case somebody finds it. Where's the best place? On a white surface. Okay, so yeah, colour first, then what have you. I've got a bit of alizarin to put in. I'm going to use some green, a bit of green, take the top off, turquoise, yeah, any colours, bit sienna, cadmium yellow, or a bit yellow. The yellow I had yesterday is actually dried up, so I have to put a bit more out. And then dry it off with a hairdryer. You need your hairdryer today. And then we can go over the top with the charcoal once the colour is dried, yes. Just to think about it, I know at this time of year people start doing the gardening, because we do ours, you know. And people are saying, I can't do my art anymore because I'm gardening. Well, it's entirely up to you, but, you know, for what we're saying, 3 hours a week, you do 2 hours in a class anyway, so, you know, I'm sure you can put 2 hours aside a week. Anyway, doesn't really matter. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But subscriptions are coming up again in April, for April really, 12 weeks. And I will be carrying on with all 3 classes. I might change the times, because they might go to mornings instead of afternoons, because I'll have my Wednesday class and my Tuesday class back. The Wednesday afternoon one, I mean, I will just do the class online Wednesday morning before I go, okay? So I'll be painting all day really, but I don't mind that, I enjoy it. And then same with other classes when they come back slowly. Tuesday morning we don't do anything anyway, I could always change, you know, for a day. Let's say we were going to miss a class, which is going to happen when we have a new floor. We're having a tiled kitchen hallway straight through those, and that's going to be a weekend of a job. But it's going to start on a Thursday, see, so it's going to be quite noisy on the Friday. That's the 30th of April. So I might do the class Thursday morning, so it'll be Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, and then you've not missed any, because we don't want to keep missing out a class, taking it to the next week, because you've got to come to a point where April classes become April-May classes, or it might become April classes, become May classes, you know, because you missed that many. So yeah, we're still doing 12 classes, and 12 classes means a month, because it's 3 classes a week over 4 weeks, okay? So it does balance itself out over the month, even if we have to miss any. So we're getting back onto our 12 classes, not 12 weeks, all right? So yeah, without further ado, big brush. We're going to use a few brushes today, but big brush. We do need a damp cloth, which I haven't actually sprayed yet, because I've been in the garden, would you believe? And I've been fixing things. Bought a new shed, not plastic shed, for tools and things, and I've been putting that up. And would you believe it? I can't believe my luck, actually, because we went to Wickes. We've been after a bin store for putting on the drive to hide the bins behind, and then I went to Wickes yesterday just having a look. Oh God, I brought my thing. And then I saw this bin store, just like flat, not a bin store, a plastic tool store, about the size of 3 bins, and it had £20 on it, and it should have been 150. And when I looked at it, well, I asked about it, they said it's probably cracked or broke, there was nothing on it. Got it home, put it all up, there's a little hinge broke, that's it, nothing else wrong with it. So I put it up, got 2 bins in it, put my tools in it, fabulous. Now I find a bargain. Don't tell my sister works at a Wickes, so I'll go and tell her I got a bargain without a 10% discount. Alright, damp cloth to rub out the colour. Nothing fussy. I love the light on this model, actually. I love the way the light is shouldered, then it goes dark, then it goes light, because you get reflections, because the sunlight's streaming through the window and it's reflecting off the furniture in the background. It's an old Victorian photograph. If you search for Victorian photographs, you get loads of stuff from kids. Anyway, be careful, because Victorians used to take photographs of dead people, especially family members, you know, so some of them look like they're asleep, but they're not, they're dead. So just be careful what comes up on Google. Don't search for dead Victorian people. But you can search for old photographs or Victorian photographs of all sorts of things. You can get them online as well. And you can pick a few, you know. A lot of them, they don't even have a specific photographer. They don't know who's photographed. But that many pictures now, you know, people have photographs and we don't know who took the photographs and whatever. So the photographer becomes anonymous, really. So you can take that image, and you can't actually copy that, a picture of a female or any nude figure, because anybody can do that pose. I could sit like that tomorrow and somebody take my picture from me back, and it tried to sue me for doing that. I say, well, it's me, you know. It looks like an all. So you cannot copy that, a painting, a photograph of a figure, because it can be any figure, unless it's a specific painting of a figure. And if you copy that and try and sell it as a money, then that's when your problems start. Okay? So yeah, let's have a bit of fun today before we start doing anything else. I'm just going to think about warm sunlight. Well, we must have warm sunlight. Alright, and then we've got some lovely kind of sienna colours. But I want some green. I love the greens. And the greens in the cools and whatever, you know. This is the best part. We've got some blues as well. And blues and alizarenes. Because the alizarine's quite nice in some of these. But be careful with the alizarine and green, because it goes quite dark. A bit more sienna, I think. And this top area, oops, missed the sienna. Top area, quite water with that. I need a bit more orangey colour in there, I think. Just, I'll keep this light area, but it's thin enough to rub out, that's the main thing. And then we've got some more blue, kind of down here. Oh, bluey green, not UV green, bluey green. Pick him up like that, a bit of water. I'm down to my last pots now. That's why I'm using the pots and not the actual tubes and anything. And then you can put a mark here, you can put a mark there. It actually frames the figure, doesn't it? Because you get these lovely marks and you get all this interesting colour within there. You can have greys and greens and blues and whatever you want, you know. The world is your oyster. A bit more thicker pigment. Okay. I only did this gesso this morning. It is dry. Always make sure it's dry, else. So we've got a framed, quite a nice framed area for where the figure is going to be in the darker shade. I can put a big kind of blob in, mix a bit of blue with some alizarin, mix it together, and then just kind of think about where the head's going to be or where the shape's going to be, and just splatter it in. Don't worry about your furniture. And then we're going to dry it off. We can turn this slightly again. Let's get to, so as it runs a different direction, you don't get everything running the same way. And if you think it's too runny, dry your brush. Just like that. Just like that. Dry your brush. And just blend it like you would with, you know, if you're doing a portrait. Take the big runs out. Some of them are nice, some of them are not really. You don't want them in the back. You don't want the runs everywhere. But you don't want to keep rubbing things together because you will lose that lovely light. Okay. You don't want to keep blending colours because you're going to lose that. So that's quite a nice abstract variation of what we're looking at. And similar to what we did here with this background colour in the walls. It gives you texture, yeah. So you get textures here, you see, and everywhere you want, really. Anyway, I'm going to dry this off. This might take a bit of time now, and then I'm going to like this here. See, that could look at that mark there at the back, which is actually very, very. I love the coolness. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. Shut up. So back on its front. Sorry, stop it running too much in one direction. Because of gravity, we use gravity. We use gravity to pull the paint. I'm going to dry this off so it stops running. And we've got some interesting kind of shapes. I do like that now because that cool blue could be the shape of the head and this lovely light on the shoulder later. The black, this area. And I'm going to add some colour, some white first, but it needs to be dried first before we add white. Having a drink. Still going. Yeah. Fabulous. Dry it off. Sorry. Dry it off. Again, you can kind of anything that's still light or still wet. You can see what happens. So you rub it out and you get these textures underneath. They become part of your painting. You know, you don't want soft, beautiful, flat areas. We want it looking like, you know, but throwing it together. Anyway, I'm going to stretch this because it's a bit the round shape. A bit cocky, indeed. Gesso paper, sorry, by the way. You can't rub out on ordinary papers. You need a plastic surface so you can rub the paint out. And it's not too thick. Go any too thick. You have to get a bit of water got under the shirt there, so you just have to toast it. Okay, need a haircut. I'll get a ponytail in a bit, carry on at this rate. I can never find the end of the tape when it goes round the corner, and it's so annoying because it's not round the corner, it's right on the edge. So what's the back of my head? Sorry about that. And then this one should be easier. Yeah. Lift it up, pull and push down again, and pull in the middle, push down, run your nail along it. Make sure I've got loads of gesso on there, that's why it looked quite rough. And then pull down here, pull up there. Yeah, you can do that a few times if you want. Then just rub the bottom bit. Same thing, gesso. Pull. Down. Okay, you got a lovely flat surface again. If you don't like cockly surfaces, I don't mind. But sometimes it's better to have it flat again. Okay, now I'm going to use some wax. I've got a fabulous kind of shape here, which is the shadow, and I'm going to around the head as well, which is coming in. I'm going to do that kind of shape and the way the light hits the window. I'm not going to, I've got a really nice kind of curve on the shirt, and then I've got some squiggly bits around here and then a curtain. You know, I'm not going to try and wax in everything around the figure. I just want that lovely kind of light. There's a lovely curve there actually, where it's going to go darker and then I can move out. And then the figure's going to sit in this area, isn't it? Not this. So I put the wax on. You need to press on quite hard to get the wax because you won't actually see it until. I've not put a lot on this one. I'm just using it as my underpinning. Then get some, you see, then get some charcoal, willow charcoal. You see what happens? The wax picks up that lovely black charcoal. So if I do that all over, this is called knocking the picture back. And you think, where's all the colour gone? But it's not gone anywhere, it's just underneath. And the magic is, we bring it back to life. That's all you're doing. Nothing too, nothing too difficult. All that colour on your gesso is under there. I'm going to blend it with my fingers because I like doing the blending with the fingers to find the wax again. I can just see bits of it kind of coming through now, but as I blend with the fingers, it's going to start to appear more. I'm going to use darker colour later as well. So yeah, give the whole thing a big willow charcoal tone. Start there, blend it together, nice and tactile stuff. Yeah, get a nice kind of mid-tone value. Go back up again, just to knock that yellow back against that. Look, I've got this lovely shape, which I'm going to use. It's probably not in the right place, but hey, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. I think I'm slowly cracking up actually. I mean, they don't cut me ear off. It'll be alright. Quite interesting. I mean, Henry Moore used to do wax drawings when he was in the air raid shelters. He couldn't actually see proper. Anyway, so I used to do these wax candle drawings. And then I turned back to the studio and put ink over the top. And then you had these lovely shapes. Guess what? It's come back. Then you get these lovely shapes over the top of your ink, you see? And then you can see where the light is going to catch things and the darks. All right, quite interesting all that. I like that as it is. Anyway, then we're going to sketch the figure. Perfect timing. Grandson's back. Anyway, we're going to egg in like that. And the shoulders are going to be in this kind of, oh sorry, this way. This is leaning. So we've got the egg, which is going to be that shape. And then we've got the shape of the neck as well. Measure the head. 1, down to the shoulders. 1, 2, 3 to the elbow. 4, which is sitting. Yeah, that's good. Keep the shoulders that angle. So we put a circle there, which is more or less in the centre of your picture. That's the shoulder, which is coming up from the neck and doing that thing. And then this one is going away from you slightly, like that. So there we're going a little bit darker as well. So we keep it going, yeah, a little bit darker on this side. That's where the wax is as well. So when we put that out later, it's going to bring out that colour underneath, which is the main thing, and that's what we want. And then we've got a lovely light here, which is going to be the shape of the shoulder. Just to go around here. If you hear background noise, it's actually somebody shouting, because Miles? Shh, I'm online. I can hear on the video. Shh. Alright, we'll play outside. Thought you were staying out. Okay, and then this lovely angle of the arm, which is coming from that direction. Sorry about that. Again, that's towards a brick wall. And down here, inside, coming down here, this disappears into all this area, which is quite interesting. So the main area is that we've got 1, 2, 3, elbow, okay? So that's coming into the angle, like that. 3, don't forget that's the shoulder, this is the neck. Keep the neck slim. You can see a little bit of the head facing away from you, and then we've got her and the neck. Keep the shoulders, like I said, quite slim. 1.5 heads usually, 1.5, okay? And as you curve it away, it goes off your picture, which is that negative space. That's where we've got some wax. I've got an angle there, which is quite nice because that's where the curtain's going to be. The chair, look at that. I put it right in the right spot, like that. So you get this lovely shape. Inside the back of the arm, all right. Inside the figure is slightly darker, so just about here. Do a bit of blending, and then we get to the hip, like that, because that's where the elbow is, which is quite dark. And then we get straight line for the arm, sorry, like that, straight line. And then we get to where the knees are, and you can see that the knees create this curve, it's like a big seal. And you just get a line down that joins it to the elbow, top of your elbow there, and then the bits, the line between the leg, each leg there, and then we got this knee, and then you get a darker tone here as well. So yeah, it's quite simple, interesting shape. That's the angle that she's sitting at, and that is the angle that she's sitting on. Again, we've got a chair. I really enjoy doing chairs, yeah. And then we can draw in this shape. And we can put the cushion in if you wanted, just to show you that shape, like that. Don't forget the centre of the back is going to be like this. It's curving this way and then that way. So you're getting two muscles at the side of your vertebrae that make catch the light. We've also got this light area here, and then where she's sitting. So if you carried on the coccyx and whatever, then where she's sitting, you have kind of buttocks, okay? But you can't really see there because it's quite dark. So we just block that in. But you do want that angle. It's actually the angle also of my wax, so hopefully it could be out in the right spot. Main thing. Nice negative space there, one here. The shadow, I'm going to put this, it's the shadow of, I don't know what it is, like the balcony outside a window. I love the Parisian street scene, which is in, and we can actually 1, 2, 3, 4, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, so these are the shadows, yeah, no, not that kind of, and then we can rub the lights out for the top bit, and then we got this curve here, which is actually the next one, which takes us down to a knee. We can make the legs a bit longer actually. You're an artist, you can do what you want. 1 knee, 2 knee, yeah, keep 1 knee slightly bigger, bonier. If you want to put the leg in as well, something like that, that's fine, you know, just make it up and let it disappear. She doesn't have to be a perfect leg, just a little bit of light here, which is the side of the chair. Okay, and then I'm going to fix it, right, and then we're going to, a bit of glazing, doesn't matter what colour it is, fix it with some good old Boots hairspray, or fixative, sorry. Oh no. Yeah. Sorry, my hairspray has gone a bit doolally. I think I've got a bunged up nozzle. There you go. So we're going to keep all that nice and fixed. Well, I might have to dry this off because it's come out in a big blob in places. Cleaning now, clearing. Okay. I'll have to clean that nozzle. Put it in some water. That should do it, shouldn't it? Yes. Go to the shower, doesn't matter. There you go. Hairspray. Fixative. And dry it. Dry it off. I know I've got it wrong, not normal, because I can't rub out with my rubber, but I can rub out with my top. But it doesn't really matter. What you could do, you could actually do it without even glazing, you know, so you don't need to kind of, because if I just show you, I can rub out the light by doing that, you know, and get a lovely kind of image of, a representation of the image. Kind of a misty, but I am going to glaze it because I want that soft yellowy golden kind of feel. I'm going to use my paint up actually, so it's red and yellow, and I'm going to go over a lot of the colour, so I can just take it up here. It's got yellow over the top, and keep the blue underneath because that'll come through. Again, down there, we'll add a bit of red over this side because of the light on the figure, actually. A bit more alizarin. That's nice red against the green. You know, she could be sat on a green or red cushion. Just drag that down like that. And get the runs out to the back. You don't want any runs in the back because she'll look like she's got some kind of wasting disease, which is not very nice. And then we'll just soften the area really, because I want this to be a nice soft image. And Degas had a lovely, you can still look him up, painting of a, well, it was a charcoal or pastel drawing or painting of a lady sat in a window, and she had this lovely glow about her. It's very simple light coming through the window, which is what I've got in my head at the moment, the idea. So now we can try it again. To go over with the wax, you don't want to melt it and spread it with the heat of the oil wire. You just want it to hold. Got a lovely glow about it at the moment, which is the colour shining through, yeah, which is really nice against the green and red. So yes, we can start now with our old technique of removing colour. Alright, so up here I'll start again with a damp cloth on the gesso pepper. So we should be able to get a really strong kind of light coming through from the white of your gesso, which is that. I put this light on her head as well. I do need some more cloths. Love good Tesco, and just to rub out the light on the top of her head right here. Like that wax area is going to be I'm going to darken that a bit after. The waxy area is going to be scraped off at the end. So that changes into the light on the shoulder. Because you get from the head, this is all one tone. It's nice to see kind of vignette tan thing happening, if that's the right pronunciation, whereby you're getting a light area against a dark area, against a light area against a dark area, you see. So it makes it kind of an interesting composition, an interesting image. It's happening mainly when we put the wax on as well, because it stops you being too perfect. Do you know what I mean? So where I might not be in the right place, actually, it moves. I have to move over slightly, so I'm getting this different shape than the image. You know what I mean? So once we get the darks, the light catching like this, and already you can see it's a figure in a window. Okay, you can actually, this is similar to Degas' lady in a window. I think it's called that. I'm not too sure. Just find it. If I find it, I'll put it on for you to have a look at. It's good to kind of look at some of these older kind of artists that created some fabulous things. I'm going to do the light on the chair. Yeah, it doesn't actually make a difference if it's what colour it is. So I've got a green chair. Yeah, could be one of our garden chairs. That is a nice green shape. Highlights, and it actually gives you the light. Can you see, like that? There's a lovely kind of shape just behind it as well, like that. And then we're coming down to where she's leaning on the table, on the back. When we start doing the back, as I've said before about the back, it's not an easy kind of subject, but I do like to do it because you get some very nice contrast changes, and that's what it's all about. So here now, as I get where that dark is, and then just about here, you always better start in lower than you think, because you can take it up, you know. That is the back of her arm, and I'm getting this lovely kind of light coming down on the back of the muscle on that arm, and that's all it is really there. and that's letting some of that colour come through. I might actually wet this later to get a stronger light coming out. I'll just take this off first, and then don't forget we've got pastel to use. You can use white acrylic paint. I can go over my wax there like that, so I'm getting a softer feel. You can see through the wax, yeah. We're going to go more and more and more and more and more. So you're removing it. Take it off. Take out the light. Stay away from the light. Yeah, I'm definitely going. You see? Beautiful. As you get to the back of the head, you get a bit more light. So on this side of the neck, you can actually see there's going to be a little bit of light, which is a reflected light. Just on the shoulder, very slowly, and then as you're coming down, you're getting more light. So the back, vertebrae, yeah, vertebrate, and then we blend that into the muscle tones within the back. So we just put that back of her arm in, down the side of the arm, finishes about here, and then it goes dark again, and then we get this. Then here we get a little bit of light where it changes tone. You see, very, very subtle change in tone, just there. And that's where I'm going to get a lot of sunlight catching later to make that stand out. Yeah, I can wet that, or I can just take it off. And we can glaze it as many times as we like, doesn't matter. But it gives you a softer feel to the image as well. So just getting those little soft shadowy effects. I think it's a real good way of putting in shadows, actually. We're going to darken it because we're going to go in with further kind of shapes. This one here. So we're getting all these really nice. This just looks like the back of a chair. And then they've got shape here that we'll use. I don't actually know what it is. It doesn't really matter, you know, but we can darken it and lighten it. Right, I'm going to take this down to the waist, because the waist here goes in, hip, that's the waist. Then we come to her hips, a little bit of light there because it curving your way, and then it's going a lot darker. I think I've got some wax there. I think that's going to work in my favour. It might not, but we'll never know. Well, we will know, we'll know later. Light on the knee, it's a little bit darker where the knees touch, inside the leg, but it's lighter on top here, and then we do that kind of bony knee, thing. Yeah, keep them nice and angular. As you're coming down this area, lots of light going into the end of my wax there. I think it's my wax, so it may be charcoal. Anyway, doesn't matter. We can lighten, we can make the legs warmer by just glazing areas, yeah? So we don't have to kind of glaze all the leg or all the figure, we can glaze part of it. So here we're getting reflections. This green is going to kind of really help. And then this is the top of the leg, the knee. So that's a bit lighter because there's more light. Bony knees, which catch more light because bone always catches light. We can come down the side of the leg as well, just to give us a bit of angle. I might not bother with that actually. We'll see what it's like when I take some, and then I'll take some of the wax off. Just there is the bony, is the muscle next to the back bone, the vertebrae, and then you get a darker bit, and then it comes up and blends into the rest of the back. See? Squint your eyes, see the changes in tone, and if you get them right, it will just look light skin tone, no matter what colour it is. That's what we're after. Once you start getting it wet as well, you can take off more and more. So as it's coming up here, it's going lighter, then it goes a little bit lighter there, and it goes darker as it comes down to the waist here, and then the hip there, you can see, and then here kind of joins up, not as dark, but lighter. Coccyx, you can put that in actually if you wanted to do this triangular shape, which you can't see, but then you get the two dimples on either side. So. And then the lightest part is going to be this left buttock. Like that. And again, I've got I've got a lot of lines coming out from underneath because that's my board, nothing else, just my board. I'm going to redraw. So where she's sitting there, I have got some wax there. I've gone over it as well, so that's a bit more reflection. This is quite nice, light, very light area, top of the leg, like that, in the lap. Just move that knee out slightly, that leg. There's quite a bit of sunlight or light catching the legs, and then it just blends in to the hip. Okay, now here I can just see the other buttock. Like that. Again, we've got that bit of wax there, so that's hindering me because it stops me from putting the dark shape in. But I could take bits of wax off as well, you know, just by wetting it. But I don't want to get rid of it, a lot of it. So it is quite light there. Then it goes a bit darker. Then it goes lighter here because that's where the bony part is, the hip. Okay, then it goes a bit darker and it blends into the rest of the leg. So it's making you see the tones. Alright, this one blends into this part of the back where you've got the this is the darker bit, and then you go softer, softer kind of tonal value there between that and the back, because it's curving slightly, but that's lighter, and then this is a little bit lighter across the shoulders, ever so slightly. If you always find you've gone too light, just put some more charcoal over it, and give it a spray. Alright, so you can just see kind of here, excuse me, a spray. Side of the vertebra. Just leave a little dark ridge, and then we can also soften areas and let it blend. If you want it to, if you want that to disappear again, just go over it with some charcoal. You can see, and you can soften it, and you can redraw. So I can redraw where it's sitting there as well. So we're going to actually use some compressed charcoal. Not really bothered about what's going on in the other areas, so we can use some water just to give us some blobs and drips and runs. There's a lovely, where the chair is here, there's a lovely light right there. You see this? Beautiful. So this chair's kind of coming down, and then we get that lovely light just catching something that's around, you know, on the floor. Just interesting shit. So where I've got this light, take that off, you can see. So the water is actually giving me these textures, and they become, I don't want any on the back really, they become part of the picture. Random kind of watermarks, you see. So I'm not rubbing all the gesso off, all the colour off, I'm just rubbing out the water. Right, so again we need some darks in here. I'm going to add a bit more compressed charcoal, I think, and then we're going to rub out some of that lovely get back to some of the colour underneath. Okay, so that's the idea. Plenty of time to do it. Sun's gone in. Yeah, kind of like it. If I use some compressed at the back of her arm here, like that, beautiful. And then you can just see inside the waist and the hip. So I'll do that. If I do this as well, blend it into the rest of that shadowy part. You see? Fabulous kind of light. You can darken bits like that, and then you can bring other bits out, or just leave bits. Just makes a very interesting shape. And then we've got the front of the arm, something like that. And then we've got the elbow, which is dark, and it's always bony. So we can put that in, and then I'm just going to go over this knee to give, and then we do the other things, so we make that a little bit darker in the background. And then where the knees meet, bony parts, and then inside the leg, let it disappear. This was actually foreshortening. I'll just put the back in here again with the buttocks there, and then that blends into the rest of the shadow, because she's sitting in a chair. A really strong dark on the top of the chair, because it's nearest to the window, and then her back, and then the other part of the chair. So again, we can just pick out that shoulder without actually drawing it. I'm just going to take that leg forward a bit. This is the calf, okay? Calf muscle. And we can't actually see where the chair is. This is the cushion. It's got patterns on it and everything. It's lovely actually. You can paint that with some red paint later, some patterns. But just let things appear and then disappear. Okay. Like that. So you don't have complete dark areas. This is the light on the head. So it's quite dark there, and then we get light hitting it, and then it goes dark again. So where you get light, you always get very dark tones, and that emphasises the sunlight. Okay. But I want the middle of the head to be lighter, and I know it's not on the picture, but that creates a reflected light. So as I come down to there, where the neck is, and it's quite dark there, so I can just put a line in, and then I can do the contrast there between that shoulder and the background. You know, lovely things. Stop, have a drink, look from a distance. Yeah. This bit, we can make the body curve, okay? So I have got some warm here as well underneath, so I'm going from warm to cool. So because the body's curving, it's going lighter there, just about here, and then it goes a bit darker and cooler, okay? You just see where it changes tone there inside the hip, and then this is going lighter. So all the time I'm looking at the contrast of everything and comparing one shape to another shape. Alright, so we've got that really nice blend there. I'm going to fix that a little bit, and then we're going to pull out the you can get me, yeah, squirting now, sorry, squirting. I don't think this top's the right one, yeah. I'm going to fix the dark areas, okay, then we're going to dry it off, because I'm going to use my Stanley knife blade to pull out these black candle wax marks. again, touch your dark bit. If you don't run, if you don't smudge, they're fine. Alright. I'm going to use a small brush as well. A fine haired one, nylon, with some water. So here we've got these marks. Now, it's very difficult to kind of use your finger to do these marks. So I'm just going to put them in with the brush, leave them, and then rub them out. Okay. So the water will do the same thing that it does when we splatter it. So you get these little marks. Trouble is you can't see where you put them. And then, so you get the mark and then a squiggly bit. When you re-wet something, it loosens all the paint underneath and the charcoal. You can even do it on the figure because that is a very light part of the figure. So I'll just show you first. Leave that a little bit, a little while longer. I'll just take this bit out if I can. And it gives you, oh God, I can find a bit of you. And then where you put the water, you see, you will rub out that area. So you can do a little bit of detail to give you the shape of the chair, pattern of a chair or whatever. So that's just using the brush. So I've got that lovely light there, then it goes, curves around, light there, curves around, yeah, something like that. Back to the white gesso underneath. Straight through the colour, back to the white of the gesso. This area is going to be quite interesting because it's the light through the window that's creating this moody picture. You know, probably I made it go out, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this bit. So I'll wet it first, all the way up to the head. Okay, leave it a little bit, and then just start to remove it. Should come off easier. Yeah, should start to come off easier when it gets re-wet. Go off your paper, over the tape to create that sunlight. All the way up to the net curtains. Net curtains, remember net curtains? Around the head there. Lovely negative. Bits of it I can't do because I know I said I'm doing the wax bit, but I'm just doing this bit first. Nice and dark. This is a little bit, I do like that shape there. It is a kind of a zigzag. Comes down, goes that way, and comes down here. Interesting shapes in the background. You don't have to know what it is. It's just a shape. It's a play of light through curtains. So these, I've not wet these, so it's a bit more difficult to get off, but that's giving me this kind of softer effect as it comes down to this area, which is a little bit lighter. You can always play about with textures underneath, you see, and we can always soften shadows, so you know, some of these shadows don't have to be so harsh on the window. And again, the light on the figure. shoulder. Usually lighter where dark meets light. Don't forget we varnish these so the light really comes out, because it makes the tones darker and then they go lighter. Okay. Right, I'm going to go back into it with some more compressed charcoal. Give it some lovely darks. That's a bit of a rubber. The difference between my charcoal and a rubber is amazing, because I can't find the difference. So yeah, we can come down the neck and go around the back again. We'll do that lovely dark here, this side of the head. Just brings out that shadow. And like I said about the hair, I've got a blue cast. It's got a blue rinse. So the blue rinse is actually giving her that cast underneath. Underneath there, so it's coming out. Someone's at the door and I can't go because I'm here and everybody's in the garden. So 1 minute please. Good job not paying by the hour. Back door, front door. God's sake almighty. Innit? Good job we're not paying by the hour. I've just added another half hour onto it. So lovely light there. I'm going to use some compressed charcoal as well. Oh, willow, a white charcoal. Sorry. I'm going to use some white around the head. Something like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to rub out some of my beautiful charcoal. These areas. So when you lift off, alright, I'm going to scratch out start where you want. Don't tear the paper, just remove the wax. Now, I've no actual method for putting this wax on. Okay, I'll just put it anywhere. But that, look at that beautiful sunlight. Nice sunlight. I've got some around the back of the head, some of the front, at the top of that reflection of the chair, of the shadow of the chair. We're going to use more. That shows you how bright you can get actually. And then we come down curtains. Chair. All the time I'm using the side. Right. I didn't put any there, I don't think I put any in the figure, which is good. Stop. Stand back. Let's swap some more off here. Just show you about the glazing techniques I've just been on about. Pick up some more, say, alizarin, and we can, oops, not off there. Bit of alizarin, small amount of water, and you can glaze. So we've got the red against the green. This is a soft brush as well. That's it. I just warm that up. You can warm this up a bit. Again, use a bit of white, use a bit of yellow. give us that sunlight effect. It also lightens the green. Reflected light. We can still use blue. Alright. Don't let it run under it because you don't want marks. We want just lovely flat glazes. It's drying straight away really because it's quite warm today. Dry it off. So that's your overall contrast, and then I'm going to use some white pastel. So I'll pick out some background things. So where I put that little bits of light, I'm not doing them all. I'm just doing some of the light areas within these things, you know, where, you know, you get scroll in a chair, back, things like that. Just use your imagination. Don't give too much information away. Let the viewer do the rest. You need to blend these as well because it's part of the background. We can go about more, but you know, just as for the sake of doing quick picture painting. And then we get the arm, the top of that arm, the inside and the top. We get lovely and light, lovely light where it meets the dark. Don't get rid of all that colour. We want some. And then a hair, side of a neck. Yeah. The hair, the head. Yeah. And the front of her arm, yeah. Top of the arm. Coming down like that. Okay. Little bits of information. I'm going to rub that a bit out actually. This side, I like the colour underneath, so I don't want to get rid of too much of it. And then we get that shape, which is coming from here. You can just see a face, and then we can see that shape there. Light on the chair. Okay. And then strong light here. If you want to do lights that's kind of reflecting, if you can see it on the picture, can't you? You just blend it like that. So it softens it, and then you go harsh. There's some wax there, so that's why it's not going over. Chair. Going into that area. This is my bit that I rubbed out. Kind of that, and then we just carry on removing colour and putting colour in. So a lot of this, I can just soften it with some pastel, blend it, and we can go in here. Okay. How's it looking? Oh, I love that. Just be careful with the white because it goes grey. So here, like I said, sometimes I use it a lot as the background to bring out this strong area of tone. And then, you see, spread things like that and around the head. Soften it. You could carry on with pastel actually over the top of this and then fix it. So we've got that lovely light coming down here. And we can soften that because it's neck curtains. Isn't it? Neck curtain. Soften that. Beautiful. and then we'll just pick out the tops of these, and that's where we're getting strong light through the window. The legs, I'm not going to bother with them pastel because you start doing too white, you're going too white really. So I get my damp cloth again, a bit more water, it's working on it, and spray it, make it damp, don't dip it in water, you'll end up with loads of water. I'm going to blend top of that leg, like that, and then blend it like this. I've already glazed that, you see, and then here as well. And the light's catching the knee, especially the knees. Beautiful. And then here, back of that arm. Front, shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder. Fabulous. You start to see other tones now that are not as dark, as light as they should be. Very, very, very subtle change. Down the back, bottom of the back. Just again this beautiful light reflecting from inside the room. Have you ever seen a film called Somewhere in Time? This guy goes, Christopher Reeves it was, goes back to the future, goes back in time to meet this lovely lady, falls in love with the photograph actually. And it just reminds me of that, because he ends up at the end sitting in the window waiting for her to return. She never does, she dies. So. Spoiled the end of it for you now. Anyway. So we'll have a look here as well now. You can see where you start to lose some of the light and then bring it back. There's a bit of a negative space there between the inside of her arm and the figure. You can see, adjust that a little bit, knock it back, makes all the difference. And you can add things. We can glaze this, we can add colour. So if I start doing things like, what time is it? Like I said, we're going to make the shape of the fabric on the chair. Where's my white? Here. So we can do these kind of squirrely bits, you see. These kind of paisley, these patterns that you're seeing in the shapes of things. We'll go darker that. Plus you can glaze over the paint. Don't forget, you've done all these glazing techniques now. You know that you can change the tone of a subject. We can add it here as well. So you go in lighter, more colour within these. You see, glaze the light coming through the window. Okay, it's not gone yet. We're about to glue together these two at this rate. Soft light. Build up, build up. Make it, I think I better stop, we've got a party going on. I'm still looking. I know, but I've stopped 3 times. My God, I need a place on a desert island. Anyway, I'm going to start now. We can use some white paint for our detail. Don't add loads. Okay. Beautiful. A bit of white up here as well, around the head. Not too much. Once you've got this underpainting, you can kind of do anything. Yeah. If you look just here, it goes a little bit darker. That's what I mean about the darks being next to the lightest part of your picture. Little shapes. This is quite a dark shape actually. And we can blend that a bit. Put some more compressed charcoal in. Make it darker. On the top of the shoulders actually. And then down here. Bring out that arm again. See? Where it kind of changes tone, which is about here. So just that little shape. Brings out the arm. And there we have it. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the ins and outs of everyday painting at home. But there you have it. Everybody's finished school and work today, this week. Just put the knees in. Don't forget to varnish. I'm not varnishing this one. You can actually, we'll have that leg going that way. So we've got this lovely curve. You can have different positions of the leg. But I was interested to start a sketch and then wait for it to move and then move on. We used to do it in live class where you had easels all around the figure, and then we moved on to the next section or the next easel, and you just did your version of what you saw. So you ended up with these interesting kind of marks. That can be the back of the chair and things like that. Okay, I'll take the tape off. I think I've taken most. It's better spraying it, letting it dry further, and then remove the rest of any wax you may have. But other than that, I'm going to sit outside with a beer now. I'm stressed out in my head. Take the tape off. I need a bouncer. Anybody know a bouncer? I can't do it. Lovely. Right, tape it up. Do as much or as little as you like. It doesn't really matter. Tape it up. I can't sell this one for $1,000 now. My video, that is. Oh, perhaps you can. Who cares anymore? There we go. I've enjoyed that. I am going to take some more colour off her hair, I think, just to give me that reflected light. And I might even glaze it more with some once you get some light coming through, you can see like that. You get a nice softness to it. I could use a bit of blue again. Blue on its own. And just kind of go over it so you get that soft, cool area of a glaze, you see. And then leave it, let it dry. Don't go into a wet glaze because it will, it'll take it all off. Things like that. Anyway. Sorry, I keep saying things I should be doing. Anyway, I'm going to leave it now. Thank you for watching. And give me a beer. My vertigo's gone, by the way. Touch wood. Touch wood. And I get headaches other ways now. Thanks for watching. Have a go. Put your stuff on. Have a lovely Easter weekend. I know we can't do much, but the weather stays something like this will be okay. I'll sit in the garden and I'll see you Monday. Monday is 12, painting in the style of. Don't know who we're doing yet actually, so I've got all weekend to look for someone. I have got a few suggestions I might have a look at again. We might do an old impressionist painting, I don't know. So there you go. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Bye now. Happy Easter.